Enzo Maresca is going to land at Manchester City. They've taken a good punt on him because he probably will rub a few people the wrong way. Had an iffy stint at Chelsea, but he's a tactical specimen. Alonso has landed at Chelsea because he's been promised a managerial role. And as I said, if Alonso was never offered the position of Liverpool, then move on. As much as he is the prince that was promised and has the affinity to Liverpool, he does require specialist players to absolutely click. He had an ill-fated stint at Real Madrid, and this is not a hit piece. I would have loved Alonso at Liverpool. But all things considered, you've got to imagine that the current setup, you know that he can utilise Florian Wirtz, you can utilise Jeremy Frimpong, but can he really adapt his style of play, which is a transitional build-up, overloading areas for positional dominance to overload the opposition in transitional attack? Can he enforce that mantra into a Liverpool team who have the slow, bogged cradle build-up of doom? When we eventually lose the ball, punt the ball to opposition, they attack us either side of 6 and score a goal. Arne Slot hasn't been able to rescue the situation. So to go from Slot to Alonso would G up the fans, especially if someone like Steven Gerrard came in as assistant manager, and he said he would do it for the right manager. He loves Liverpool and he'd do that assistant manager role to learn from the best. But you've got to imagine it's not the most exciting, even though he's a good manager, not the most exciting brand of football. Whereas Sebastian Hoeneß, Andoni Iraola and Nagelsmann, they are cutthroat, they are attacking. Especially Nagelsmann knows how to handle egos as well, and he's definitely no yes man, and he will stamp his authority. Whereas Andoni Iraola, doesn't matter if he loses 4 out of his 5 best backline players, loses Semenyo, loses all the top cream of the crop players. He's proven he can manage a team in tactical shape to get the result, and that's a massive slight against Arne Slot, who has much better players and talent at his disposal, much better resources, and yet he has failed to do what Andoni Iraola has shown by example. Get a squad of players, no matter the personnel, to play and buy into a system where the sum of its parts are better than the individual and batter, cream cracker top teams off the face of the pitch. They have the opportunity to beat Manchester City tonight, but I hope Manchester City do it, because going to the title race to the last day would be thoroughly exciting, and it gets Liverpool Champions League places. And once we've secured Champions League places, with Salah's latest outburst against Arne Slot, he's not long for the role at Liverpool manager at the helm. And my sources, I have a mate in Liverpool, not really a groundsman at Anfield, but he's a friend of, let's say, somebody who's in and around the Anfield area. And he really thinks the wheels are in motion as soon as the Champions League places are sealed. FSG will be looking to move Slot on. I have nothing personal against Arne Slot, but a large majority of the fan base outright revolt against everything he says, because it makes you sick. He's really undermining everyone's intelligence and what they see with their eyes with his constant deflection, lack of accountability, and partying it up in Ibiza and Dubai as well. Now, that being said, as I mentioned, Sebastian Hoeneß really does look like a man of the people, and he looks like a Liverpool type signing backed by data and analysis. And the analysis says he can revigorate a squad with 1 pre-season. He can overcome the odds with a lesser squad. He can compete in the Champions League when he went to Turin and battered Juventus, and then against an informed Dortmund, smashed them 5-1 in the league. He can turn average players into gold dust, into world-class players, into players that are on the shortlist of the biggest clubs in the world, i.e. Hoeneß at Dortmund. His name is Sebastian Hoeneß, spelt in a very unusual German way. And my goodness, we've done it the German way with Jurgen Klopp, turning doubters into believers, believers into achievers, achieving the Champions League, achieving the Premier League and winning it all. And with Slot winning a Premier League and rightfully being on the banner, his time is up. Interim Slot, he's out of there. He was the right man for the right job at the right time to take over from Slot and the burden that entails, and he's burned out and been found out